It's been a little bit of a roller coaster. Obviously, we've had a few injuries, we've lost a few players, and then our performances have been slightly up and down. So I'd say the roller coaster is a good word of putting it. The guys are putting in some serious hard yards behind the scenes. We're training really well, we're working really hard on game plans, but sometimes you get beaten on the day, or sometimes you lose the big moments or the small moments in the game that lead up to being big moments. So a little bit of hot and cold, but there's some good signs. When we play well, we play really well, and sometimes when we don't play well, we don't play very well at all. So it's just about making the right decisions at the right time. And I think as a team, we're slowly but surely finding momentum with all the trials and tribulations we've had in our squad this year. Look, it's unfortunate what happened. It's simple as that. That's it. Those guys that have left, and you've got to respect the guys that have left for the bubble fatigue and anything like that. It's a real thing. It's glitz and glamorous playing IPL cricket, and it's nice. But these days, the bubble life is very tough. It's a very real thing that you need to deal with, and mentally you've got to be really strong. And sometimes if you feel that you need to get out, you need to get out. And I completely respect that, because I can understand it, especially guys with families. But it's when it comes to losing players like that, you just need to, like I said, the best word I can use is crack on. Luckily, technology these days makes things easier. You can FaceTime and stuff like that. So we speak to each other quite a few times a day. So I can still see my son, I can still see my wife. We talk a bit of rubbish. But in terms of keeping busy in the bubble and stuff, we just managed to meet up with everybody, have dinner together in each other's rooms, or we'll find a communal place where we can all sit and talk a bit of rubbish. We like watching the cricket together. There's obviously British football on that we watch. Very disappointed that United Liverpool got postponed last night. I was very much looking forward to that. But we just make it work. We just spend time together as a team, spend time together as human beings. And there's a pool area. We don't have one in Delhi, unfortunately, because of restrictions. But Mumbai, we had a very nice pool area that we could spend time together as a team. And you just make it work. You find ways to. I think Netflix starts to lick its lips in IPL, because guys go crazy on it. But you just find a way. It's just spend time with your teammates and get to know one another, because it's an unbelievable platform to get to know people from different teams and different backgrounds, and it just makes you gel as a team. And I found actually in these bubbles, you actually spend more time with your team than in all the other IPLs, just because you're almost forced to, which has been awesome. We were quite adamant quite early on in the tournament. We sat down with Jake, our CEO, and we just said, listen, we need to make a difference here, we need to help. So all of us as players who contributed, and I'm sure you, obviously, like you said, you mentioned the number there, we contributed quite a substantial amount of money to get oxygen tanks, or oxygen, whatever what they're called, into India, and just help where we can, because people are really struggling, and it's very sad to see what's going on. And it really hit me hard. I think about a week ago, it really hit me hard, especially when we got to Delhi. It's really tough. So any little bit of help that us players can do, and like I said, the Rajasthan Royals, our foundation's doing wonderful things. So I take my hat off to what our guys are doing, and any help is help. Personally, I would never have left the bubble. But the only time you got to leave the bubble is if I think there's, in my opinion, for me, the only reason that I would have left is probably if there was a death in the family. I'd have to get home. But look, I think my wife and I and my family, we knew I would be away for, this is how long I was going to be away for, would potentially be away longer, because if there was a quarantine or I would be a travel ban. So we knew that I was going to be away, and end of the day, like I said, I married a superhuman, and I married a superman. A superstar. So no illusions that I was going to be away for a bit of a while. We bite the bullet, and you just crack on. Look, in our bubbles, we're pretty safe. We, in terms of getting home, look, unfortunately, that's that's the government of the country. That's not that's unfortunately the BCCI. I don't think we'll be able to change government's minds. That's the nature of the beast, unfortunately, that we're living in at the moment. That's it's a terrible thing that the world's going through, and if that's the rules that the governments have made, you've got to stick by them, and unfortunately you've got to obey what the law says. So look, it's we trust the BCCI to get us home safe. We trust them to get us there in one piece, and make sure that we all get home. But end of the day, you got to follow the laws and the rules of your country, and if that doesn't allow you to get home straight away, then there's somehow they've got to make a plan and figure out how to get the boys home.